What's up guys, it's Aaron Benjamin here for another video. Lately on my channel I've been focusing a lot on single leg X, so if you're not familiar with the position, I would definitely recommend checking out my basics video. The link is in the description. That's going to be a good starting point, but if you are familiar with the position, today I'm going to show 2 entries versus a standing opponent when I'm playing butterfly guard. I made a video on 3 entries versus a seated opponent or somebody who's on their knees, so you can also check that in the description. But today it's going to be versus standing / combat base. So I'm here with my good friend Zach, and we're going to get started. So, a lot of times when we start our rolls, one person elects to play guard and the other elects to pass. So there's typically 3 things we see the passer do. Either he's on his knees, so if Zach goes on both knees, we start like this, fist bump, and we start rolling. Or he puts this leg up like a combat base, and we're like this. Or he just stands all the way up. So if we want to utilize single leg X, we need to find a way to get into that position against every single one of these scenarios. So in my last video it was versus him on his knees. Today I'm going to show 2 entries from the combat base, and then I'm going to demonstrate how you can do the same exact entries from a standing position. So let's look at it right now. He's in combat base. So we start our roll like this, right? We high five and do this. First thing I want to do to rehash very quickly is keep my hands in front of my ankles. I can never let Zach have access to my ankles or it's going to be bad news for me. Secondary to that, I don't want to have my posture too far up or he's just going to push me back. And I don't want to have my posture too far forward or he's just going to shove my head down and run around my legs. So I have to find a happy medium where I have a good base. Let's do it this way just a little bit. So, when I'm here, I protect myself and I hand fight, right? We're always hand fighting and not letting him touch us. Once we're able to, we want to scoot in and get shin to shin. So think conceptually here. I just need to not let Zach touch me. I typically do this very aggressively, right? I typically just move his hands and get shin to shin. So what did I just do? My left shin goes to his shin, so almost ankle to ankle. And then my left hand goes right behind the crook of his knee, and the crook of his knee goes to the crook of my elbow. So I don't want to be shallow because I'm much weaker if I just go to the wrist. I want to go all the way to here. Secondary to that, I want to keep my neck kind of protected. I'm almost shrugging my shoulders so that he doesn't just shove my head or get guillotines or anything. So I'm nice and tight here. Now, what I'm going to do to enter single leg X is I'm going to fall to my right shoulder, almost underneath Zach, while simultaneously putting my right hand on his far knee, because I have to keep this space in between his legs open. So look, I do this. As I do this, I lift Zach's shin on my shin. So now all his weight is on his right side. His weight is here and here. These are his base points. I'm keeping this hand here so that he doesn't try to mount me or anything. Now look, I lift my left leg and I shoot it through. My right knee comes inside, and then look, I straighten out and get an angle. Like this. And now I have a good single leg X position. So let's see that from another angle. So let's just come this way. So he's combat base here. I have good base, I have good posture. I scoot in aggressively and I get shin to shin. My elbow, the crook of my elbow is behind the crook of his knee. Here I'm nice and tight. I'm going to post inside of Zach's knee so I can keep his knees separated. And I'm going to fall towards my right shoulder. I do not fall flat, I fall to my right shoulder. And then I elevate this leg. So watch this leg on this angle. So now I have this leg elevated. Now look, I'm going to do it a little quicker this time. I'm going to shoot through and get my angle. Like this. This leg comes to the hip. This hand can come to that ankle grip or the hamstring grip, which I mentioned in my basics video. So that's our first entry. We can do that entry from standing as well. So let's actually just look at it from standing right now. If he's standing, he's probably a more elusive and aggressive passer, so I have to be quicker, right? We're here, right? We're always monitoring the distance initially, right? I never want to let him step inside of my legs. When I feel I have clearance, I'm going to either open his wrists or do something to scoot in aggressively, right? I get here, like this, so I butt scoot in. Same concept, crook of the elbow behind the crook of the knee, ankle to ankle, fall to my right shoulder while pushing his knee open, shoot through, and lift that hip high. Look how high my hip is off the ground. So one more time, when you start standing, maybe he's trying to come in, I keep my distance, close it, and I get shin to shin. Right hand goes to the inside knee. Never post on the mat. I used to do this up until when I was a purple belt, until I got rolling Kimura 35 times. They roll over and they start getting that Kimura, and it's really hard to deal with. So keep that elbow tight and be mindful of that. Push on the inside of the knee and fall to your right shoulder, like this. Hips high, and now we have our one leg X. So now, our second entry that we can also utilize both from combat base and from standing is he's combat base. And I'm here like this. This one's a little more aggressive. I'm going to pick his ankle and go forward. Now, this is kind of reactionary because if the guy's good, he's not just going to fall over. Sometimes the most gimmicky sweep in jiu-jitsu is just to do this. And they fall. But let's assume Zach is good. And as I pick his ankle, I grab his collar and he stands with us. How do I rock up? A lot of people ask this. Let me show you guys real quickly. I'm going to come up like this. I'm going to tuck one foot, heel to butt, and I'm just going to rock up. Like this. Right? So look, he's in front of me, combat base. Right, we're hand fighting. I grab his ankle and his collar and I rock up. Right? If he falls, we take the sweep. This time he's going to keep his base, and I'm going to get single X. So he's just going to stand with me, just like this. Now we're in an ankle pick. I'm a big supporter of taking one step back to take 2 steps forward. So maybe I'm not good at ankle picks and I don't know how to take him down well from here, or I want to attack lower body attacks. Look what I do. I just sit back into single leg X. So one more time. He's in his combat base. We're hand fighting. I rock up. We get up here and I sit back into single X. I do the same thing from standing more often than you might assume. So if he's here, we're standing, I feel like when I try to engage, he moves back, right? And I can't get in shin to shin. So then I keep a little bit more distance. I grab a collar grip, same side, and I rock up and I shove him back really hard as I pick that ankle. Just like this. And then I pull him back over me as I sit to my butt and go single X, like this. Right? And then guys, if you watch my basic sweep video, Zach's momentum is so far forward because of the guard pull that when he postures up, I capitalize on the timing and I get my sweep. This is a sequence I do on a daily basis. So one more time, he's standing, right, I get the collar, right, we're here, I rock up, I do this, sit in, pull him down, he postures up, and I get the sweep. So guys, that's 2 entries to the single leg X versus an opponent who's in combat base and an opponent who's standing. If you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. Thanks to Zach. Os, guys.